Show, Sun and Fun International Fly-In and Expo, celebrating its 41st year all week long, April 21st through April 26th in Lakeland. It's bigger, it's faster, it's louder, it's Sun and Fun.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
Are you tired of not using your home's outdoor space for entertaining or relaxation because of all the bugs and leaves? Consider adding a beautiful screen room or glass enclosure. We are Superior Aluminum and Design, a family-owned and operated business with 20 years experience in the aluminum industry, and we are accredited by the Better Business Bureau. If you appreciate superior workmanship, call Superior Aluminum and Design at 817-8058 or visit us on the web at superiораluminumdesign.com.
5 minutes after 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Thursday morning. It feels good to say Thursday. Yesterday was a marathon for us, huh?
Yeah, it was. Very much so.
It is.
Fun.
Currently. It was
fun.
But I went to bed really tired.
Oh, me too.
Yesterday. 63 degrees right now. Galen Unold is on the phone from LifeSouth Community Blood Center. Good morning, Galen. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Larry, Robin. How are y'all?
Pretty good. We met a few people yesterday who enjoyed this segment, which was nice.
Yes.
Oh, that's always good.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Always good.
So where are you right now?
I'm working in Ocala today. Got a couple of meetings here, so
Working in Ocala. So if we were going to surprise Galen, where would we go?
He's not going to tell. He's going to be at a
all
meeting.
over the place today. It all depends on what time.
Hey, there's an app that's becoming a popular app. Have you heard about My Idol?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you gotta look up this app called My Idol. You take a picture of yourself and it'll make you into a cartoon character. And all that stuff I've been trying to do with animation, it does it way better than I could ever do.
There you go.
I mean, and you don't have to do anything. You just basically click on it, and you'll be a pole dancer. You'll be a woman. You'll be a man. You'll be whatever you want to be. The only problem is it's in Chinese.
Oh, okay.
So
that's always a problem, isn't it?
Well, what people are saying is you just click on things and then, that's funny.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, I don't think there's one in English, but the way to find it is just go to MYIDOL, My Idol, and it comes right up.
Right.
So.
All right.
So how is the blood supply today?
We're kind of where we're at. When you have a need for platelets, and we have a real need for type O is what we're really needing. So get out there and give it.
So when you think about what the people who depend on LifeSouth need, it's only one place to get it, and it's kind of the thing to always remember. It's from what's flowing through your veins right now, and that could be you. You could be the person who needs it.
That's absolutely right.
God forbid, but it could be like within the hour. You never know what could happen to somebody, right?
Sure. Yeah.
It's a scary thought, but
yeah,
it is. It really is.
And this segment is brought to you by Penn Flooring, so let's make sure we thank them, because without them we couldn't do this, and if we didn't do this, then there'd be fewer people donating blood. I'm confident of that.
There you go.
And I think this has residual. I think people say, oh, I heard these guys talk about giving blood, and I went and did it. Oh, I'm going to do it too. So I think there's a residual.
Yeah, I think so.
I know that for a fact. So yeah.
So if you go to Penn Flooring, you can check out what they have for sale, and they can install the carpeting or the linoleum or whatever flooring you decide to put down. The wood flooring. Wood flooring is my favorite. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from, but it is. And Penn Flooring is at 1201 Southwest 17th Street. They've been in business for over a quarter of a century. They're by the bridge, at the downside of the bridge. What would that be? The east side, west side? The west side of the bridge?
The west side of the bridge.
The bridge is the McKay-Williams Bridge over the railroad tracks on 17th Street.
Yep.
Yeah, perfect.
Today, we do have a phone call. I want to take the phone call, but I also want to tell you today it's a fun topic. It's locker room stories.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a fun topic. I've got at least 3 I think I can share with you. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, I have a question for you, and I really enjoy this section too. because it's really funny and it's very informative too.
Oh, good.
So, but I really liked it. My question is, I had cancer in 2013, and I'm clear everything. Can I give blood?
What type of treatment did you get?
I didn't have chemo. I had it removed and everything, and I've
Radiation?
been cleared everything. I didn't have chemo. I didn't have any radiation or nothing like that.
All right. So once you're 5 years cancer-free, you can give blood.
Okay, it's 5 years. Okay, I didn't know if it was 2 or 3 or 5. Okay, all right.
No,
Thank you very
it's
much.
5.
I'll
And
appreciate that.
if you've gotten, thank you, and congratulations for beating it. And the thing is if you've had chemotherapy, then it's a ban. Because we're not sure of the long-term impact of chemotherapy, there's a lot of studies that are going on, and so I'm hoping that that's one of those bans that they lift. But and it also depends on the type of cancer you've had. But if you've gotten radiation and you're good to go, or surgical removal, 5 years. Yeah.
Okay, I think he left. I
Okay.
didn't realize he hung up. Well, that was an interesting question. So what was the year he said he got?
2013.
Okay, so he's got to wait
Yeah,
another.
so he's got a couple of years,
Yeah.
3 years,
Wow.
4 years.
Okay, well, that was a great question.
Yeah.
You never know. There's
Yeah,
going to be a
absolutely.
question we haven't really addressed before. You never know when you're going to get that one question, right?
No, and that's absolutely right. That's why I've said it a million times. I love this. I love the avenue that you guys give me. It's such a blessing.
And so it's a good reminder to mention that if you are ever have a question about cancer during the time that about blood donation, I mean, during the time that Galen is on with us, I know we go silly. We're going to go silly in just a little bit with locker room talk, but don't hesitate to interrupt. It's okay. We kind of want you to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And more importantly, if you have a question and you want to talk to me or somebody at the blood center, call us. We'll talk to you about it. I'll talk to you about it. I answer my phone way too much. You can call us at. My mind just went completely blank on our phone number, Larry, which is awesome.
Let me look it up for you.
Ocala.
Oh no, I got it. I just got to figure it out. It's in my brain. I know it really well. Apparently.
Do I have it written down anywhere wrong? No, I don't have it.
It's sad. You know what? It's in
I
my
used to.
phone, and I don't dial. It's 622-3544.
Is that
Okay.
it?
And goodness gracious.
There you go.
Horrible, isn't it?
622-3544. Got it.
But how many numbers do you have stored in your phone so you don't have to know them anymore?
Exactly.
Well, that's it.
Good
yeah,
point.
yeah.
And that's what got me there.
But it's
622-3544.
okay. But in this day and age, you know how quickly I found that. All I did was put LifeSouth Ocala in the Google search,
yeah.
and it came right up.
Absolutely.
So the address.
Absolutely. But you could-
there's a photo of it. There's an address. There's a phone number. So.
Yeah, but absolutely. I mean, so feel free. And that with all sincerity, we really enjoy talking to people about this. We're all pretty passionate about it, and again, just let us know if you have any questions. No matter how stupid you maybe think they are, they're probably not.
Okay. Ready for some locker room stories? I'm curious if you have. Robin said she can't think of any, but I'm going to start.
I can't.
I'm going to start off with one from mine. I've got some from offline, but I'm going to tell you one that I remember as a kid.
Okay.
There was a guy in my school. This was either junior high or high school. I can't remember. But when you're in the locker room, you become naked. It's just it's the way it is.
Yeah. You take a group shower, and then
there was a
move
guy.
on.
There was a guy who had been. I mean, I remember as a really nice guy, and he was really struggling to become like more buff. He wanted to be stronger and more fit, and so he was doing all this stuff. And some of the guys who kind of, like for him, it was a struggle to get to that point. And some other guys, like they were naturally fit or whatever. They've always been fit. And so they were kind of picking on him because he was up to 100 sit-ups or something. He had some kind of a, what do you call it when you a milestone,
Regimen?
kind of a milestone for him, or whatever. I think it was 100, whatever it was. So he was happy with himself. And they said to him, you really, if you're ever going to be really good at this, you have to be able to do an Olympic sit-up. And he says, well, what is an Olympic sit-up? They go, you're kidding. You don't know what an Olympic sit-up is? Now, this is all taking place in the locker room.
Oh, were you guys naked or dressed at that point?
I was dressed. I was never naked. I don't think I ever got that. But anyway, so they
typically you don't talk when you're naked.
Oh, okay.
all right.
No,
So
it's true. It's true. I mean, I know in the movies you see guys. In real life, there's no talking.
yeah. Well, for me, there's no talking. Even if there's only part of you showing, like at a urinal, no talking.
No, yeah, that's absolutely right. Am I wrong, Larry?
No, that's absolutely the truth. It's true for me. It's not true for everybody. All right. So anyway, so they of course they set this guy up into being challenged with this thing called the Olympic sit-up. Well, how do you do it? Well, you know those benches you sit on outside your locker. It's a big straight piece of wood.
Yeah.
So they say, well, the way you have to do is you have to lie on a beam, and this will work right here. And we have to hold a towel over your face, over your eyes. And we won't hold it hard, but we'll put a little resistance against you as you do your sit-up. He says, oh, come on, I could do that. I could do that. So he lays down on his back. Now, he's dressed.
Good.
He lays down on his back on the...
That was important for Robin.
Yes, it was.
On his back on the bench, which is just a plank of wood, basically. They take a towel, they fold it up, and they hold it down over his eyes. Now, a naked guy proceeds to straddle him.
Oh.
But he doesn't know there's a naked guy straddling him.
Oh.
And he's standing there so that when he does his sit-up, his face is going to go smack into the guy's butt.
I'm glad you
and
said
so
that.
they say, okay, on the count of 3, you have to do the sit-up. Now press hard against the towel. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Now he's pressing hard, and they're holding the towel down. Then they remove the towel, and boom! His face went right into the guy's butt. The Olympic sit-up. Now that's a locker room story.
That's mean.
Today that you'd go to jail.
Could be.
It's interesting. I mean, there's I don't think that's right. But today you would really go to jail for that. I mean,
Yeah.
Did you heard about what was going on at one of the football teams? I think it was in Pennsylvania or New Jersey, and they were doing some crazy things, and they go to jail now. They did go to jail. The hazing is a horrific thing. It is a form of bullying, and that's what a lot of these locker room stories are. But,
in a way, yeah, I can see that this was a form of bullying. Yeah. I felt bad for the guy, but at the same
that's
time,
exactly what that is. That's hazing or bullying. And,
I wonder what I remember he laughed it off though. So when would that have been?
You have to.
That would have been in the '60s.
And I'll be honest with you. That kind of stuff happens, and the way you deal with it is how people are, whether or not they're going to do it again.
Right.
If you get all upset and you go tell somebody, then, back in the day, that meant they were just going to do it again.
All right. So I want to hear some of yours, and if Robin has any and I have at least one more. So.
Oh, okay.
But if you have any, then I'd love to hear them. And I have some from online as well. So we'll take a little break and be right back with Galen and Locker Room Stories. Remember, if you have a question about blood donation, you are absolutely invited to call. The number is 622-9622. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. More clouds and sunshine for today with a shower or thunderstorm this afternoon or this evening. High between 85 and 87. Later on tonight, partly cloudy, low 65 to 70. Partly sunny for the day tomorrow with a high between 80 and 86. And then for Saturday, partly sunny, and we'll have a warm afternoon with a high Saturday between 87 and 90. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Do you have areas that have started sagging or drooping? Is what you're looking at not quite the same as it was years ago? Are there enhancements you've been putting off? Is there serious damage you need fixed? Then call on us, Damage Control Services, when your roof is sagging and the drywall is drooping after a storm, or your home just needs some enhancements. From damage repairs to new construction, Damage Control Services is here to help.
All right, 18 minutes after 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in to The Source. Galen Unold from LifeSouth is on the phone. Remember, call us if you have a question about donating blood during this time with Galen. Obviously, once Galen's off the phone, Rob and I won't have any answers for you.
No.
Then you call LifeSouth, and their number is 622-3544.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. Or you could also visit LifeSouth.org. We got a ton of information there, too.
There you go. You know what I miss?
right.
I miss that thing that you guys were trying to perfect, that app, because I like the idea of it posting that I went to donate blood.
Yeah.
I like the fact that I donate blood and it was right on my Facebook page. Now you don't do that anymore.
No, that's not my area.
It's not your thing. All right. So do you have a
as hard as I can push it.
Do you have a locker room story?
It's more of like one of the things in the Navy. I mean, if there was a new guy on the ship, we would make him go down to the boiler room and go get a bucket of steam.
And he'd go?
A bucket of
steam.
Steam. Okay.
Yeah. So here's how it would play out. It would go because you got good at it because it happened to you, and you're like, God, this can't be real. But everybody, if there's 4 or 5 guys and your chief is telling you, yeah, I get that. So we're mopping the decks, right? Cleaning the decks, and you have to mop them. And they're like, look, this water's just not hot enough. I need you to go to the boiler room, and they would give you a specific person to ask for. And so while you were on your way down there, they would call down to the engine room or the boiler room and say, look, this guy's coming for a bucket of steam. And this guy, you would never know. You couldn't find him, and so you'd have to walk all over the ship. So... yeah, and so you spend 4 or 5 hours looking for a bucket.
Oh no!
So knowing.
Did that happen to you?
Like, oh, you brought the wrong kind of bucket, so you would get a bucket, a mop bucket. You're like, you can't put, and then you get down there and you're like, because first of all, you're brand new on a ship. You're nervous as heck. You're 18 years old, been out of boot camp for 3 months, never been on a ship this big.
Right.
And that's the wrong kind of bucket. So.
Did it happen to you?
No. Because I'm pretty smart, and so what I did is I'm like, okay, you want me to go get a bucket of steam? And so I went into the bathroom and filled it up with hot water, and I'm like, oh, the steam melted. And my chief laughed so hard. He said, all right, that's pretty good. And so he goes, yeah, you're not going to be able to get anything over on this guy. So
That's funny.
Yeah, man. That's good. Yeah.
So, I will tell you a locker room story. So, I played basketball at Forest High School, and so we were on a road trip. I'm not going to tell you the gym. And so when you were on the road and you played, you often used the women's locker room. So that way, because there were only 2 locker rooms, there was a men's and a women's, and so we're in the women's locker room. And we're all showering. And in comes, I can't remember if it was a softball team. I think it was a softball team or a soccer team. It was just a group of females. And we were literally, and there's 7 or 8 of us, buck naked in the shower. And, I was in 9th grade at the time. And I remember,
man.
Oh my gosh! There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go.
And what happened? Were things said? Did they scream? Did they run around?
They went. My coach comes. He goes, oh, and you just start making this noise. Oh, and they walk all the way in, fortunately. Yeah, and so nobody saw anything, thank goodness. But,
yes.
For them probably more than us, but it was pretty awesome. And he goes, oh my gosh! He goes, oh no! He was making this noise. He didn't know what to do. Pretty funny.
Oh, that is funny.
Robin, you got a story?
After that, whenever we went on the road trip, every time we went on the road, they would have to post a guard. So, pretty good.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything funny. I thought, well, at least you guys weren't scarred for life, Galen. For something like that.
No, I mean, I just got a nickname coming out of a locker room with a towel on my head. So.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Habib.
Oh, speaking of nicknames, I have a story about a guy who got a nickname. Are you ready?
Yeah.
He tells the story how back in 1989, his team lost the opening football game of the year, and he blamed himself. He said he was the left outside linebacker. He was responsible for the running back coming out of the backfield on his side. He came out and he covered him until the quarterback pulled the ball down like he was going to run. I bit hard and rushed, thinking I had a huge sack. He tossed the ball just over my outstretched arms, and it fell right into the running back's hands. He scampered on for the touchdown. It was the only score of the game.
Oh.
So after the game, he says after the game, he was in the shower, and he started crying really hard. And then there was this guy, and he calls him Frank. He comes over to him, and he says he's erect. He's aroused. And he opens his arms. He says, "Would you like a hug?" And
the Frank guy?
The Frank guy.
Was aroused.
The Frank guy was aroused.
Okay.
This guy, the guy telling the story, was crying. And this guy, Frank, aroused, says, "Would you like a hug?" So he sees everything and he says, "No, I'm fine. I don't need a hug." Well, that's all it took for the rest of the guys, because they all saw this.
Yes.
For the rest of his high school years, people would always come up to him, "You want a hug?" Can you imagine that?
Oh my gosh, that would cure you of hugging.
Yes.
You want a hug?
Stay away.
It wouldn't matter to me.
There's, in the locker room, if you don't have clothes on, there's no touching.
No,
Yeah.
aroused or not, no hug, no.
I don't know. No, never. I don't know. I don't know. That's just not now. Locker room, you get in, you get out as fast as you possibly can. They stink. There's nothing good in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully the guy next to you doesn't borrow your deodorant.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a common prank. It says, this one happens to rookies a lot. If a guy starts getting a little too big for his britches, you might see one of the older guys do this. There are a few different versions of this classic. One is where you take a guy's clothing that he wore to the ballpark and you drench them in water, roll them into a ball, put them in the freezer.
Oh.
And then when there's about a half hour left in the game, you take him out of the freezer and put him in his locker.
You have access to freezers when you're...
I don't know. That's what it says. Anyway, so he finds
It's really complicated.
Yeah.
finds his clothing.
Oh, my gosh.
Another one is to super glue the shoes to the bottom of the locker.
Oh, that's
seen
not
that.
fun.
You've seen that?
Really?
That's not good at all.
No.
Shoes are too expensive and it rips the rubber off. I've seen that.
That's why you always wear socks with no holes, I guess, when you're going to school.
Let's see. Here's one. This guy was in 7th grade, and his mom had bought him some Mario boxers, thinking he would like them. She didn't realize that it said, "I scored with the princess."
Oh!
And so the other boys all made fun of him for the rest of his life. They called him Mario.
That's awesome.
I scored with the princess.
That is awesome.
I love that one. That's a classic.
Here's one. I was a sophomore in high school. It was It was after a basketball game. We were in the locker room. A few of the other guys decided to play a prank on one of the teammates by hiding his clothing while he was in the shower. He couldn't find anything but a sock, and he put it on the only part that's not supposed to be seen. Walking around, asking everybody, "Have you seen my clothing?"
Yeah. You know what? I'll bet you got it faster that way. Again, own it and embrace it. And, because you don't typically play a prank like that on somebody you don't like.
Right.
So.
This guy said, "I went to the sauna once with my grandfather, and I cannot get the vision out of my brain."
What are you trying to do?
Good morning. You're on the air.
Bonding.
He just wore it around his shoulder.
Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I was going to call and I remember Galen probably figures, I'm not going to get through this without something with Brett Favre, so I didn't want to disappoint him.
Oh, it's a Brent Favre locker story.
When Favre went to the Jets, he was an avid hunter, and it was Thanksgiving time, and he went and shot a turkey and gave it to the coach for Thanksgiving dinner. But then he turned around and took all the dressings from the turkey and put in the defensive guy's locker because he told him they stunk and they weren't playing up to par.
Oh.
But it was, well, they couldn't prove it was him. They assumed it was him.
Yeah.
I mean, it was never proven that it was him, but, they just kind of elimination, and he's probably one of the only guys with a shotgun on or whatever kind of gun, on the team and hunting at Thanksgiving, and the coach did get the turkey for dinner,
Oh, anyway. Gee.
That was a good joke. They played better the next week because they didn't have any.
Oh, it's Thanksgiving. Everything's forgiven. It's Thanksgiving.
Yeah. You guys have a great day.
All right. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you for yesterday, too. Yesterday was so fun. We had fun time.
Hey, thank you for coming. You guys made the day.
All right, thank you. That was sweet to say, but we didn't make the day. You guys did.
Wonderful.
All right, we need to know where the Bloodmobile is. Galen, where's the Bloodmobile?
Hey, Bloodmobile today, Larry. We're at Rolling Greens. We're at the North Clubhouse over at Rolling Green.
All right, and
and Linda was named Volunteer of the Year for the Humane Society. Had to throw that.
yeah, and if you,
she's awesome. That's
765. Go donate blood. I try to squeeze it in. It's not possible. Galen, have a great day.
You guys are the best.
Radio. I'm Julia Moo. In Ferguson, Missouri, the family of Michael Brown filing suit against the city and the 18-year-old's dad.
An attorney put out a media statement late Wednesday saying the civil case will be filed Thursday, with a news conference scheduled for the morning.
Fox Radio's Ron Flatter. Grand jury declined to prosecute the officer who said his life was in danger after Brown tried to grab his gun. Sentencing day for former CIA Director David Petraeus in North Carolina for sharing military secrets with his biographer, with whom he was having an affair. European leaders meeting in Brussels on the migrant crisis in the Mediterranean. Meanwhile, funerals on Malta for bodies recovered from the worst disaster there.
The focus here will be on an interfaith service, effectively a funeral for 24 of those predominantly young men who drowned in that tragedy at the weekend. The average age was mid-20s.
And Brady with Fox sister network Sky News. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Fox News Early Prime, breaking down business news and its impact on your bottom line. Your World with Neil Cavuto.
That's why I do business. That's why I am business.
Bold positions and brash opinions on the topics America is buzzing about. The Five.
How do you think this will set in with the American people?
This will be the pulse of the nation.
Washington insight and political know-how from the best in the Beltway. Special report with Brett Bay.
The epicenter of the political world is here.
The number one place for fair and balanced coverage. Fox News Channel.
What's wrong with working hard to make our lives and our kids' lives better? Nothing. At Fox Business, we don't have a problem with success. We have a very big problem with those who get in the way of it. We don't come out of the box bashing those who make money, just the politicians stealing it and the bureaucracies wasting it. We're not just sitting behind a desk. We're out in the field, on the floor, with the folks. Because when a story moves forward, so do we.
Fox Business, the power to prosper. Check your local listings.
Howdy, folks. RL here for Dairy Queen, and this offer's good till 4 p.m. every day at Dairy Queen. A hot, juicy, char-grilled bacon cheeseburger, fried drink, and a sundae for just $5. Or try our famous chicken strips or wraps. Nobody offers all this quality and value but Dairy Queen, and this offer's good till 4 p.m. every day at Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
If your toddler seems to end up wearing more of their food than they eat, don't freak. Messy eaters, we now know, they tend to pick up languages more easily. Instead, our biggest dementia risk boils down to the foods we eat. Stay away from red meat, butter, sweets, and fried food. If you're trying to make a good impression on a man, do not worry about small flaws in your appearance like a chipped fingernail or a stain on your shirt, because chances are he won't even notice.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Hi, Danny Warfel here. Get moving with Florida Credit Union's fast and easy loan approval process.
Let Florida Credit Union start up a new car loan for you today. No more waiting, hassles, or stop signs. You can even apply online. With a strong financial team behind you, you can enjoy great rates and fast approvals.
It's all about personalized service and a streamlined process.
Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life.
Real estate is the largest and most personal investment that any of us will ever make. Be sure to tune in Tuesdays at 10 a.m. when Bob Kennedy, owner of Berkshire Hathaway Home Team Realty, will be answering your questions and discussing real estate. So remember, that's Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Call 622-9622 with your questions. It pays to be an informed buyer or seller. This is news you can use from Berkshire Hathaway Home Team Realty and your friends here at WOCA.
Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, and learn how they can help you.
Enjoy a round of golf in one of Central Florida's